Hey there, time and emotion adventurers! Imagine living an epic adventure saving the world. And 50 years later, when your friends are nearing the end of their lives, you barely notice the time go by? Well, that's the reality for an almost immortal elf. And today we're going to see how she deals with that. But before we go on, our quick agreement. We know that in the rush, a lot of people forget to like or subscribe. Your support is what gives us strength. So if you're already in the mood, leave your like and subscribe. Excellent. Now let's go all in, because I'm going to break down every moment of this amazing video. Our journey begins over an ancient map that unrolls, revealing the far north of the continent. A calm voice tells us that they have finally reached Oriol, the legendary land where souls rest. A place that mortals call heaven. It is a place of deep meaning, where according to the tales of the great mage Flam, countless souls gather. Next, we are transported to a carriage gliding along a stone road through a lush green landscape. There is Frieren, our silver-haired elf protagonist, absorbed in a book and almost oblivious to the conversation. Himmel, the blue-haired hero, can barely contain his excitement as he talks about the tasks that await them. Heiter, the bespectacled cleric, is already making plans for a job that will allow him to drink. And Eisen, the dwarf warrior, grumbles about the cleric's drinking. Himmel reflects on Frieren's longevity. She, serene, simply nods. Their arrival in the capital is triumphant. A crowd in ecstasy, colorful medieval houses, flags and confetti. Trumpets announce the heroes. Himmel waves to the people. Frieren, reserved, waves shyly. Heiter and Eisen savor the moment. In the castle, the king welcomes them, thanking them for defeating the demon king. In the background, a mural of the goddess of the harvest. At night, a fireworks show, flaming skull shapes and castles explode in color. Later, in a lively tavern, Himmel, vain, dreams about the statue the king will erect in his honor. Frieren, with her perspective on time, teases him, reminding him that he only gave 10 copper coins at the start of their decade-long adventure, and will probably skimp on her depiction as well. Himmel, pretending to be modest, wonders if anyone could capture his beauty, to which Frieren, with irony, insists that he will certainly try to spend as little as possible. Hilarious. And Heiter, of course, enjoys his drink. 10 long years of adventure reach their climax. The group is atop a wall, gazing at the era of meteors, a breathtaking celestial event that occurs every 50 years. The lights of the meteors streak across the sky. Himmel remarks that it's a perfect way to usher in an era of peace and promises that in 50 years, he'll take Frieren to watch the spectacle from an even better place. He, a human, knows that for her 50 years are just an instant, but for him, it's a lifetime. Frieren, with her unique perspective, smiles and suggests that it will be she who takes the three of them to see it together again. Himmel laughs, a laugh filled with friendship and melancholy, and agrees. What a touching moment. The fleeting beauty of the meteors in their eyes and time, relentless for humans, goes on. We follow Frieren on her solitary journeys, collecting spells, exploring forests, crystal caves, ancient ruins, and snowy mountains. The scenery changes, the seasons pass in a breath. And then, the reunion. 50 years have passed. Frieren arrives in a town and finds Himmel, now old, with white hair and a long beard, but the gentle smile is still there, even if more tired. Heiter and Eisen have also grown old. Soon after, we are at Himmel's funeral. The flower-adorned coffin is carried through a place that looks like a crowded church. The city mourns its hero. Frieren watches, and while the people around her comment on how cold she seems for not showing emotion, disapproving looks and whispers ripple through the crowd, some even questioning whether she really cared about the hero. Heiter, noticing the discomfort and misunderstanding directed at the elf, tries to ease the moment with a somewhat awkward but perhaps understanding remark, saying that they themselves also don't show any obvious outward sadness, attempting to shift the focus away from Frieren's apparent impassiveness. The scene cuts to the burial, with the coffin being slowly lowered. It is there, faced with the reality of loss, that the true weight of time, mortality, and missed opportunities hits Frieren with full force. As she watches her friend's coffin being prepared for its final rest, she breaks down in tears. Her face is red and twisted with pain, her voice choked and trembling. Her words, laden with deep and palpable regret, echo painfully. I didn't know anything about him. Even knowing that humans live such short lives. Why didn't I try to understand him just a little better? It's a moment of pure vulnerability, a crack in the millennia-old elf's facade, where she is comforted by her remaining friends. Eisen and a Heiter, already bent with age, still in tears, begging between sobs not to have his head rubbed in a childish attempt to seek comfort. What a powerful scene. The pain of loss, finally fully understood and felt, written on the face of an elf who has lived for millennia, but only now, faced with Himmel's mortality, truly understands the value and fleeting nature of a decade spent alongside someone she loved. And how little she really allowed herself to know about someone who was so important. Another 20 years slip away. Frieren visits Heiter, now a grey-haired bishop, visibly older and frailer. His movements are slow, resting near the softly crackling fireplace, warming the room. He has an important request, perhaps his last for her, that Frieren decipher an ancient and mysterious grimoire, a tome covered in dust and history, attributed to the legendary sage Evin. Legend says that this book contains resurrection spells and even immortality. With a weak voice marked by age and illness, he confesses his desire for more time, a fragile hope that Frieren, with her elven skepticism shaped by centuries of observing nature and magic, regards with understandable caution. And it is in this moment of vulnerability and imminent farewell that we are introduced to Fern, a little girl with vibrant purple hair and eyes that hold a premature maturity. A war orphan whom Heiter, in his kindness, took in and cared for as if she were his own daughter. With his last breath of hope and a pleading look, he asks Frieren to take her as her apprentice, to guide her on the path of magic. At first, Frieren, with her straightforward and sometimes rather cold honesty, refuses, arguing that a child on her journey to collect spells would only slow her down. But Heiter, with the wisdom and persistence of someone who knows his days are numbered, makes a final appeal to his old elf friend, that while she devotes herself to the complex task of deciphering the enigmatic grimoire, she also dedicates part of her vast knowledge to teaching the ways of magic to little Fern, offering the girl a future and a purpose. And it is with this promise hanging in the air and the image of Frieren pondering her dying friend's request that we wrap up for today. What an emotional journey, isn't it? If this story about time, friendship, and the search for understanding has already touched you, don't forget to leave that special like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next chapters of this saga. And of course, I really want to know what you thought about Frieren's reaction to Himmel's death and this new request from Heiter. Share your theories and feelings in the comments below. We love this exchange of ideas with you, our community. We want to take a heartfelt moment to send a big, warm hug to each and every one of you who have joined us on this incredible journey. Your support, enthusiasm, and curiosity have made every step of this adventure truly unforgettable, and we are so grateful to have you as part of our community. As we wrap up today's episode, we hope you felt inspired, entertained, and maybe even learned something new along the way. Remember, our adventures don't end here. There are so many more exciting stories, discoveries, and experiences waiting for us just around the corner. So, until we